This is like
this is a smart guy. Please use the flash. Oh, I am a fool. We do also have flash on here.
But I think it looks pretty good.
Yeah, we don't need it.
Don't use it. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, we'll just bump it up.
We'll just crop it out.
Yeah.
Okay, so diving back in, letting people know where we were, right? So we were just talking about.
Yeah, I think you need.
I think I'll get a little closer to you. Yeah. This is fun though. We can't use the name of the podcast. We might be drunk. That's being used already. But we could think something synonymous.
Yes.
What would be a good title for tonight?
It is Cinco de Mayo.
I know. That's all we need. Cinco de Mayo.
Fuck the French.
Oh, we nailed it.
FF.
FF. Fuck the French fuckers.
FTF.
Yep. FTF.
That's why we're drinking for Cinco de Mayo.
See.
Colton, explain to the viewers why we celebrate Cinco de Mayo.
Cinco de Mayo, Mexican Independence Day, right?
Wrong.
Wrong.
From a Mexican.
Yes.
Wrong. You're hearing it here first.
This is the first time ever hearing it. And it's actually not Mexican Independence Day. It is the day the Mexican army beat Napoleon III in battle.
Battle of Pueblas.
Pueblas. Yes, sí, señor. That's correct. Pueblas. So, Cinco de Mayo is a big deal, people.
In America. Not in Mexico. Sorry to break it to you guys.
Yeah, do you guys not care about it?
Not really.
What the hell is wrong with us? So we got some beverages earlier.
We did. It was pretty cool.
It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. And while we're out, do you know what happened to us while we're out? You know, we're out at this table.
A lot happened while we were out.
Yeah, a lot.
I felt a little left out of what was happening, so I think I'm the wrong person to be asking.
I'm not. I was thinking that you had the best view on the woman that did approach us.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So.
Yes.
I guess my question is,
yeah. What is your question?
Yeah, my question is,
yeah.
Like we're sitting out, and this woman, you know, she wanted another table for her friends. They're taking a little while to get there, which I understand. You know, sometimes friends take a little while.
Yes.
But she came over, you know, pretty attractive, like elderly woman. I don't want to say elderly. That seems a little.
She was in upper 40s.
Upper 40s. I agree, man. I agree. Upper 40s, man. Our friend was saying she was like 50 minimum,
for sure.
And I don't know.
Her hand said upper 40s. The rest was controversial.
The face, you know, it's hard to say.
She looked good.
She looked good. But she tried to get a table from us, and we weren't using it.
Well, we have to give them the backstory.
We do.
We were 3 people going out to eat, and it was a 6-person table that we were seated at that consisted of a 4-person table attached to a 2-person table.
Correct.
Right? So we were eating there, and it was just 3 of us. And then this lady, we'll call her the lady.
We'll call her a lady.
The lady.
She's definitely a woman.
Well, she is a lady.
We won't call her
for the sake of this story, she is the lady.
Yes.
Right? Because there was other ladies there, but she is the lady. She looks over to us, and she's all like, we could tell she was turning on her charm.
She was revving up.
Yeah, she's like, oh my goodness, is it okay if like we switch tables? Because they were sitting at a 4-person table. So we were using a 4-person table essentially. And she's like, could we change it? Like, we have like, you know, other people coming, so it's going to be like 6 of us. Is it okay if like we change tables that way? Like, you guys can sit here and we can all fit there. And then we're like, oh, like, you guys can just like take this other table from us. And like, that way you guys can all fit. And then she's like, oh, like, let me ask our waiter if that's okay. The waiter was named Carlos or something, and she's like, "Oh, Carlos!" Like, and then she grabs his hand. He's like, "Is it okay?"
I swear it was Manny.
Oh no, it was Manny. It was Manny. Yeah, he's like, "Manny, can you please like, is it okay if we like grab that table and like attach it to ours? Like that way, like we can all fit and stuff." And like, we don't know what happened.
They didn't take the table.
Yeah, they didn't take the table from us. We sat there the entire time, so we have no idea if that was cool or not or whatever. But
they might have said fire hazard or something.
Yeah, maybe. But I mean, who knows? Yeah. Well, regardless, like whatever he said, she wasn't like what or anything.
No, yeah.
Whatever he said, and so she ended up like talking to some other table, And that's when it got interesting.
Yeah. It is, as he stated, Cinco de Mayo.
Cinco de Mayo.
This woman, you know, she was wearing her makeup. She was going out today.
Yeah.
But
also, like, not fully...
Not crazy. She wasn't going to a ball.
No, she knew where she was going to.
She knew she was going to a restaurant, right?
Yeah.
It was tasteful.
Yeah, so she was going out, but not like, hey, you have to, like, dress to impress.
Right.
She was like, oh, I'm going to be in public.
Right.
Let me make myself look presentable.
Classic mom jeans and, like, a tank top.
She was wearing a tank top.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I think my favorite piece of all was a sombrero, right?
Yeah.
She had the sombrero on. And
Which I think...
This was my question to you, by the way. The reason I brought this up.
Yeah. I think... Well, here's the point. She's sitting there with one other person, her other, like, girlfriend, who's also wearing the sombrero, who looks not older, just...
Decidedly worse.
Yeah. But not older.
She looked the same age.
She looked the same age, but, like, in a worse way. Like, two people can look like, 24, but one can look better. Like, just because one's thin doesn't make them younger. They're both the same age. One's just more attractive. But they were both wearing sombreros, so they were both hanging out, and they were both buddies.
Yes.
But the important part is that the sombrero they were wearing is the same. So the other table that they were talking to after they talked to us had a stack of the same sombrero, and this wasn't like a Party City sombrero that was like plasticky and like fake. This was like a fairly sized sombrero, and it said like Corona on it. Like the table next to them, I think, got him from somewhere. Got a fat stack, and the two girls asked them before if they could take two sombreros, and they were like, "Yeah, we have a whole bunch." And so they were both wearing the sombreros, and so
no one at the table with the sombreros was wearing a sombrero.
They were the only two people in the entire restaurant wearing the sombreros. There was a stack of them at the table,
and no one at the
table.
There
was like 5 people there. No one was wearing them. They were the only 2 people that were wearing them. That's kind of sus.
Enough said. Enough said. If you can get a visual.
Yeah. She looks like what you would envision, like, you know those girls at the end of the night at a bar that look like a wet cigarette? She would end up looking like that. Right now, she did not.
No.
But, like...
She looked like the fresh cigarette.
Yeah. Very fresh out of the pack. Like, you look at it and it was like, wow, like, this is pretty put together. Toxic. Bad for me. But pretty good.
Oh, yeah. Who knows? I always wonder what the end story is like when you see people like that, characters like that out in a moment, and you're like, wow, what happens when you go home?
I think,
right? Or even before you make it home.
I think most of the time the story is way less exciting than what you would expect it to be. I just mean, like, they usually don't go home with anyone.
Oh yeah,
because they're still like coherent enough to like know what they want, so they're not like just going home with anyone. They're like, oh, like, this was a fun night, and then they go home
butt fuck wasted.
Yeah, they go home like super wasted. They usually go home with like someone else that they're like with one of their friends.
Friends, yes.
And so the friends are like usually like fine enough, and so they like go home and like the friend's
usually a tank.
Yeah, the friend's just like hanging out with them, and they're like, oh, like, fuck, now I have to like take care of you, and that's like about it. Like, they puke or something, and they might be hungover the next day. But nothing except, I don't think...
Alejandro took that away from me, though. I was imagining just sprinting after buses.
No, I don't think that...
Ubering out of state. Oh, this isn't my address?
Yeah, no, I wish that would happen, but if you think about it, they don't come there alone.
They're smart.
And the other someone is like, okay, we gotta get home, like...
That's true. Responsible.
Responsible.
You gotta have one responsible person with you at all times.
Responsible. If they were that responsible, they wouldn't be fucking...
The fun part, though, was we saw this lady with a sombrero reconvene with the sombrero table, right?
Yeah.
And we are sitting the next table over from them.
Yeah.
Loudly commentating.
Oh, dude, okay, it was awful, actually. Like,
in a hindsight,
they have to know, like, what the situation is. So maybe we could, like, put up, like, a little, like, diagram right here. Or probably not. We suck at editing
We're
videos.
really bad. Dude,
So
get
on
Mr.
this-
Edits to do it.
Dude, yeah, Mr.
We're paying
Follow
him.
him. Custom.
I don't know.
We will bleep this out and we'll put the actual
voice it
name
over,
over
we'll
this.
voice it over. The audio will get immeasurably better.
It's just gonna go, custom video. So anyways, we were sitting here and they were like pretty close by. Like enough for them to hear us if we were speaking loud enough, for sure.
Which we inevitably do.
Yeah, because we have no idea how loud we're speaking. It's a restaurant. But there was a bald man, and we kept calling him the bald man. And so, like, who else is it gonna be? And we're like, look at the bald man do this. And it wasn't like crazy things. It was like, oh look, he's looking at her. The bald man is like trying to hit her up. Oh my god. And he just be like looking at this like hat lady, like say something crazy probably.
He was staring at her, though.
He was. So I don't regret anything I said. He was doing everything I thought he was doing. He was trying to, hit her up and make some moves.
We're over there like, the bald man doesn't have a ring on his finger.
Dude, yeah. He probably took it off in Cinco de Mayo.
I'm fooling me.